Hello dear students, I'm Dr. Chandrakala HT. In this video, under the topic Modern Wireless Communication Systems, I'll be teaching you what is wireless transmission, and also I'll be teaching you the 4 types of wireless transmission: radio transmission, microwave transmission, infrared transmission, and light transmission. First of all, let's understand what is wireless transmission. Wireless transmission is a form of unguided media. So when we say unguided, the meaning is physically does not exist. So a wireless transmission, as we all know, it doesn't involve any physical links, which are set up between 2 or more devices for them to communicate. So 2 or more devices communicate without any wires in case of wireless transmission. In wireless transmission, the signals are spread over in the air and they are received and interpreted using antennas. So a sender will put the signal onto air and the receiver will take it from air using antennas and it will interpret them. So an antenna which is attached to the computer is capable of converting the digital data into wireless signals and spread it over all over within the frequency range. On the sender, there will be an antenna which takes the digital data produced by the sender computer and converts them into wireless signals and spread these signals in air in the required frequency range. And at the receiver, the receptor of the receiver will take these signals and it will convert them back to the digital data. So using the antenna and receptor, this interconversion between the digital data to wireless signals and from wireless signals to digital data will happen. So for wireless transmission, we make use of some part of electromagnetic spectrum in order to perform the wireless transmission. So this picture shows the electromagnetic spectrum which exists in nature or in our atmosphere or environment for that matter. So in these, there are several bands in the electromagnetic spectrum. The band from 10 to 10 power minus 1, 10 power 1 to 10 power minus 1 is designated as radio wave band, and 10 power minus 1 to 10 power minus 3 is microwave band. From 10 power minus 3 to 10 power minus 5 is infrared band, and 10 power minus 5 to 10 power minus 7 is visible light band. 10 power minus 7 to 10 power minus 9 is ultraviolet ray band. 10 power minus 9 to 10 power minus 11 is X-ray band, and 10 power minus 11 to 10 power minus 13 is the gamma ray band. So each of these signals we make use for varieties of purposes. The X-rays and gamma rays, of course, they are used in diagnostics, and the ultraviolet rays are also used for varieties of scientific purposes. Out of these bands of electromagnetic spectrum, 4 bands, the radio wave band, microwave band, infrared band, and visible light band can be used for transmitting the data wirelessly. So these bands can be used in order to do wireless data transmission. First, let us see radio transmission. The radio frequencies are easy to generate because of their wavelength, and they can penetrate through walls and structures as well. So that's how strong they are. So no walls or hard structures can stop the radio frequency from penetrating them. Radio waves will have a wavelength of 1 millimeter to 1 lakh kilometer, and their frequency ranges from 3 hertz, which is extremely low frequency, to 300 gigahertz, which is a extremely high frequency. So 3 hertz to 300 gigahertz is the frequency range of radio waves. The radio frequencies are again divided into 6 subbands. Radio waves at lower frequencies, they can travel through walls, whereas higher frequency radio waves cannot travel through walls. They always travel in a straight line, and when they come across walls or hard structures, they will bounce back. The power of low frequency waves generally decreases quite sharply because they generally cover long distances, and also they can penetrate through walls. Hence, their strength is bound to decrease quite sharply. Whereas high frequency radio waves have more power. So both have their own features, advantages and disadvantages. And depending on your requirement, you can make use of these waves. Frequencies like very low frequency, and medium frequency are categorized as lower frequency in case of radio waves. These three bands, the VLF, LF, and MF bands, can travel on the ground up to 1,000 kilometers over the Earth's surface. They can travel on the ground as well as above the Earth's surface up to 1,000 kilometers. Whereas high frequency radio waves, they are prone to be absorbed by rain and other atmospheric obstacles. For example, the ionosphere absorbs the high frequency radio waves. We say the high frequency and very high frequency bands as high frequency radio waves. These are the two types of high frequency radio waves. When these are spread upwards from the ground level of Earth, as soon as they reach ionosphere, they will be absorbed there or they will be refracted back to the Earth. Hence, these radio waves are not very suitable for communicating towards the satellites from Earth's surface, but within the ground they can be used. Whereas to communicate with the satellites through radio waves, the low frequency radio waves are more useful. The next type of wireless transmission is microwave transmission. These are the electromagnetic waves which are above 100 megahertz. Mega is 10 power 10 power 6. Mega is 10 power 6 and giga is 10 power 9. So microwave signals are generally of frequency 100 megahertz or more. They always travel in a straight line, and because they travel in straight line, the sender and receiver must be aligned in a straight line of sight. So there can't be any difference in the alignment between the sender and receiver. If it is so, the transmission will be hampered. Transmission of signals will be hampered. So hence, the sender and receiver in case of microwave transmission should be in the straight line of sight always. This is a strict requirement with microwave transmission. Microwaves have a wavelength of 1 millimeter to 1 meter, and their frequency ranges from 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. The microwave antennas concentrate the waves and make them as beams. So in the picture which was shown in the previous slide, in this picture, multiple antennas have to be used if they have to reach farther, because microwave transmission doesn't suit long distance transmission. If at all any signals have to be sent through microwave transmission for long distances, multiple antennas should be placed so that the signal will be attenuated and sent to the next station. Hence, there is no chance of a weaker signals reaching the destination. And microwaves are generally high frequency waves and they do not penetrate walls and other obstacles. And when we use microwave transmission for wireless communication, the signal quality depends upon weather conditions and also the frequencies which it is using. So microwave transmission is not that very flexible compared to other transmission media. Coming to infrared transmission, this is a third type of wireless transmission. The infrared wave lies in between the visible light spectrum and the microwave spectrum, as I had shown in the electromagnetic spectrum picture. So the infrared rays have a wavelength of 700 nanometer to 1 millimeter. So nano is 10 power -9. So, and milli is 10 power minus 3. So this is the wavelength, and the frequency ranges from 300 gigahertz to 430 terahertz. So tera means 10 power plus 12. So that's how high frequency it is. The infrared wave is only used for short range communication purpose, like a TV remote. The infrared ray always travels in a straight line, and hence it is directional by nature. If any obstacles are there, whenever the infrared ray is traveling, the signal will be obstructed. So it cannot cross walls and other thick obstacles. So this is because of its high frequency range. The high frequency range waves always have a chance of bouncing back in case if they come across any obstacles. So infrared transmissions are used, infrared signals or waves are used only for TV remote, wireless keyboard and wireless mouse, headphones, so on. So it's suitable, this range is suitable for short range communication devices like your remote, wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, wireless headsets, headphones, so on. The next fourth type of wireless transmission is light transmission. This is the highest electromagnetic spectrum which can be used for data transmission. This is called as light or optical sensing, optical signaling transmission. This is usually achieved by laser beams. Because of the frequency which the light uses, it always travels strictly in a straight line, and hence the sender and receiver must be in the straight line of sight. Because laser transmission is unidirectional, both the ends of communication, that is the sender as well as receiver, have to have laser as well as photo detector. A laser device as well as photo detector needs to be installed in both the ends. The laser beam is generally 1 millimeter wide. Hence, it's a work of precision in order to align two far receptors which are pointing to the laser source. So here, laser will work as a transmitter and photo detector will work as receiver. A device should have both of these because data transmission in case of laser communication is unidirectional. You can observe in this picture there are two communication lines or transmission lines, one for sending, another for receiving. Hence, even the sender as well as receiver should have both laser and photo detector. Laser acts as transmitter of signal, photo detector acts as receiver. So whenever this device is receiving, it will make use of photo detector. Whenever it is sending, it makes use of laser. And you should observe both of them are exactly in the straight line of sight in order to achieve good signal quality. And lasers cannot penetrate walls, rain, or not even a thick fog. Hence, this is yet another constraint of lasers. And also laser beam might also be distorted due to wind, atmospheric temperature, variation in temperature in the path. So that's how sensitive the laser beam is. Laser is safe for data transmission as it is very difficult to tap 1 millimeter wide laser without interrupting the communication channel. So it's a safe data transmission, but tapping the two devices in 1 millimeter wide laser range without interrupting the communication channel is a major challenge in case of laser transmission. So out of these four short frequency radio waves are the best signals for data communication, but depending on your need, whether you have to do a short range communication, then you don't need to use your laser transmission or microwave or even radio transmission. Only infrared transmission is enough to transmit data for short ranges. Whereas for long ranges, maybe for satellite communication, if you have to send and receive data through satellites, the low frequency radio waves are the best. And within the ground level, if you have to communicate, the laser transmission, microwave and high frequency radio waves can be utilized. So if line of sight, straight line of sight can be achieved, you can go for any high frequency signal ranges. If line of sight cannot be achieved, then you have to go for short frequency radio waves for communication. So these are the four wireless transmission bands which are in use today to accomplish wireless communication: the radio transmission, infrared transmission, microwave transmission, and light transmission or laser transmission. Okay, so this was about the wireless transmission bands. Thank you.